All right, we will call the Transportation Committee hearing to order. This is the Wednesday, January 11th hearing of the Minnesota Transportation Committee. The time is 3:35. We have a quorum present. Members, we have one item on the agenda today, and that is Senate File 27. Known as Driver's License for All. Chief Author, Senator Zainab Mohammed, is here to present the bill. I think she's going to have some help in presenting the bill. Members, I have a list of folks to testify. It's not on the agenda, but we have a list of folks that we know want to testify that signed up ahead of time. These are all proponents. And then we'll move to opponents. And Senator Jasinski, if you have a list already of folks you know who will be testifying in opposition, feel free to forward those to me, and I'll call on them in order. And then we'll open it up for those who want to come forward. I apologize for starting late. Our floor session went a little late, so the earlier committees had to then bump up against our start time, and so I appreciate everyone's patience and forbearance. The plan is to take testimony today. Hopefully we can get through that by our normal adjournment time. I'm sure we won't with your forbearance, Mr. Lead. Maybe we'll push back and, we'll take everyone that we possibly can and delay our adjournment. So we'll have the full 2 hours and delay our adjournment till we would usually adjourn at 5. We'll adjourn in the neighborhood of 5:30. So to that end, of course, a few folks at the outset who are organizational representatives, we will give So we'll allow folks who are organizational representatives 3 minutes to testify each. I might be a little bit flexible, but not very, because we have a lot of folks, and then folks who are testifying on their own behalf. We'll try to confine to 2 minutes. If we start running out of time, we're going to bring that down to 1 minute. Beth Ethier will help us keep track of time, and so she'll be giving you signals as you're needing to wrap up your testimony. Senator Mohammed, Mr. Chair, or Mr. Lead.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. And just a point of, I want to note under the temporary rules, and I know it's early in the session, we're not into the swing of things, but one thing I'm a little bit concerned about is we're supposed to give a 3 calendar day notice for these meetings, and to my understanding, it was not done in this instance. I know Rule 12.3 says, to the extent practical, a committee and subcommittee shall announce each meeting to the public at least 3 calendar days before convening. The notice must state the name of the committee or subcommittee, the bill or bills to be considered, and the place and time of the meeting. And to my understanding, that was not done. And I know Senate File number 27 is a fairly large bill, very complex. And again, I just ask that if we, in the future, if we could make sure we try to get that 3 days advance notice so we can do that. Again, I know it's early in session, so I don't want to make a big deal about it. And then also, I think today as well, we postponed it by 30 minutes, and I know we on the floor understood that, but I don't know if everybody in the audience got notice that we were delaying by 30 minutes. So if we could just try to make sure that going forward that we can abide by those time frames, so it's not only fair for the committee members as well as the public.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Those points are appropriate and well taken, and I take responsibility for that. My apologies, public apologies for not giving proper notice of 3 days. I agree with you. But that is why well, part of the reason that we're taking testimony today is because we have so much testimony, and then getting to debate and amendments probably time wouldn't permit, but also because we need time for everyone to duly consider this matter. It's a big matter, and in our informal conversations, you've identified a number of issues that we really do need to work through, and we'll have that opportunity a week from today. So I appreciate that, and I apologize to the public for not serving notice about the half-hour delay. We're kind of back in the saddle as the majority. A few glitches. We're all learning and relearning our jobs, so appreciate your forbearance and your tolerance of our errors along the way. We'll get better. Thank you. All right, anything else, members, before we proceed? Senator Mohammed, are you prepared to present Senate File 27?
I am. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, committee members, for considering Senate File 27. This is driver's licenses for all, and I'd like to start by offering the A6 amendment.
So members, would someone like to move the A6 amendment on behalf of Senator Mohammed? This is what we call an author's amendment, so it's a courtesy that we would offer this and accept this amendment without debate so that she can get the bill in the form which she desires. Any motion? Senator Port.
I move the A6.
All right, Senator Port moves the A6 amendment. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Senator Mohammed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is a bill for and by and of community members, like the ones you see behind me in the hearing room today, who have struggled to have their identities recognized by our state. Until 2003, this wasn't an issue. Everyone who lived in Minnesota, regardless of immigration status, was allowed to get a driver's license. In 2003, after this body rejected Governor Pawlenty's proposal to restrict the freedom to drive, he acted unilaterally to strip away the right to drive from tens of thousands of our friends and neighbors. This body has never passed a statute that restricts the freedom to drive, but we can restore it. This bill is common sense. It makes our roads safer. In states that have a similar policy in place, the rate of hit and runs decreased between 7 and 10%. The rate of uninsured drivers decreased. The roads got safer. We all have lower insurance premiums when we all have insurance. We all have safer roads when we've all passed the driver's test to get a license. States like Utah and New Mexico have both seen significant drops in uninsured rates after adopting driver's licenses for all. And in Minnesota, particularly in greater Minnesota, where there is little to no public transportation, we need to be able to drive safely and without fear. To get to school, to work, to places of worship, and to live our lives with dignity. This bill is quite simple. First, it restores the ability of all Minnesotans, regardless of citizenship or immigration status, to obtain a Class D driver's license, as long as they pass the written test and driving test, prove that they are a Minnesota resident and obtain insurance. Second, this bill ensures that certain data to obtain a Class D driver's license is private so that Minnesotans can rest assured that their data is protected. And third, this bill ensures that the executive branch can never again unilaterally and undemocratically take away driver's licenses from our immigrant communities and refugee neighbors. I want to tell you about the experience of my mom. She immigrated to the United States along with my siblings and I when I was just 9 years old. She lives in South Minneapolis, but for years, she's worked at a factory in Chaska. She works really hard. It's tough. Physical labor, demanding on both the body and the mind. The only way for her to get to work is by car, because there is no feasible way to get to Chaska from South Minneapolis using just public transportation. Luckily, my mom has the privilege of having a driver's license. But I'm here today because there are so many Minnesotans who share the same experience as my mom, but they lack status, and they're faced with a choice. Go to work, take your kids to school, access medical care, but only if you're willing to risk deportation and having your life and family be torn apart. Since former Governor Pawlenty's action in 2003, immigrants have been fighting for this legislation. If not for my mother and the immigrant rights movement, I wouldn't sit here today in front of you. It's an honor for me to be able to carry this legacy of this 20-year fight for the freedom to drive. A movement that started when I was just 5 years old. Members, in few moments, you will hear profound testimonies from community members who've been impacted by this issue. From members of law enforcement who will talk about how it's a public safety issue. From members of the faith community who will talk about this and how it's a moral issue. From our friends in labor and the business community who will talk about how this is simply an economic issue. Committee members, I ask you to consider their testimony with an open mind and an open heart. And I'll turn it over to Vina, who I know Senator Champion will be joining us soon. So while he does, I think he's finishing committee. I'll turn it over to Vina.
Welcome to the committee, Ms. Ayers. Please state your name and your position and proceed with your testimony. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Dibble. My name is Vina Iyer. I am the Executive Director of the Immigrant Law Center of Minnesota. Chair Dibble, Lee Jasinski, Senator Mohammed, and committee members. As I said, I'm the Executive Director of the Immigrant Law Center of Minnesota. ILCM is a legal services organization with Minnesota offices in Austin, Moorhead, St. Paul, and Worthington. We are committed to supporting immigrants on the pathway to citizenship through education, representation, and advocacy. For 20 years too long, ILCM has stood with immigrants, their citizen neighbors, business, labor, law enforcement, the faith community, and a bipartisan group of lawmakers to restore driver's licenses for all. All the folks who are behind you today, they've been here year after year after year for 20 years. Until 2003, driver's licenses for all was Minnesota law. My own parents, who immigrated from India in 1969 and 1974 respectively, just had to prove their identity and their ability to drive to obtain Minnesota driver's licenses. In 2003, the legislature, and particularly this body, refused to disturb this long-standing and uncontroversial policy, one that was inclusive of all Minnesotans and worked for all Minnesotans. Yet later that year, the executive branch unilaterally eliminated the right to a driver's license for thousands of Minnesotans through a mere rule change. In 2013, the Senate last passed a bill to try to course correct. At that time, there was only one type of driver's license in Minnesota. The bill proposed a two-tiered system: driving privilege licenses for anyone who could not show lawful presence or U.S. citizenship, and a driver's license, i.e. the standard Class D driver's license, for those who could prove lawful presence or U.S. citizenship. The bill didn't pass the House, so it never became law. But Minnesota's driver's licensing regime has changed dramatically in the past decade. As this committee knows best, it's a whole new world. Enhanced driver's licenses are available for those who can prove U.S. citizenship, real IDs for those who can prove U.S. citizenship or lawful presence. In short, enhanced driver's licenses and real IDs are the 2023 equivalent of a standard Class D driver's license in the 2013 bill. Therefore, the bill before you today, SF 27, proposes the simplest course correction to restore driver's licenses for all within the new driver's license regime that we have today. Essentially, it maintains 3 driver's licenses: enhanced driver's licenses for those who can prove U.S. citizenship, real IDs for those who can prove citizenship or lawful presence, and returning standard Class D driver's licenses to be available for everyone, regardless of citizenship or lawful presence. This legislation is long overdue, and ILCM strongly supports the restoration of a policy that was working and did not need fixing. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Iyer. Senator Mohammed. I think we're going to await Senator Champion. We'll just insert him when he arrives. And so I will move to the testifiers list. And we're going to start with Ahmed Anshur and Jason Adkins representing the Catholic Conference. If you could come forward.
Chair.
Yes.
Just for procedural purposes going out here throughout, are we going to do questions of the testifiers all at the end or after each testifier, or what's your preference?
Thank you. Thank you for asking. Senator Mohammed, what is your preference? That we hold questions or?
We hold questions and we hear the people.
All right. Does that work for you? All right.
Just want a clarification. Thank you, Mr.
All right. And also, I don't think we've had an actual walkthrough of the bill itself. We'll need to have that at some point, either if we have time later today or at the point at which we open up debate and markup. So just to let you know, Senator Mohammed, we will need either with your help or Ms. Iyer's help a walkthrough of the provisions of the bill, and then we'll open it up for debate and amendment. All right. Thank you. I mean, I don't want to quash the rights of the committee. However, if something does come up, a committee member has a question of a particular testifier, point of clarification, please alert me and we will do so. Thank you. All right. So returning to the roster of those who have signed up beforehand to testify, we have Imam Ahmed Anshur and Jason Adkins from the Catholic Conference. If you could both come forward. All right. Maybe we can have pull up another chair. Yeah, if we could have a page, pull another chair up to the table. Thanks. Welcome to the committee. Please introduce yourself and proceed with your testimony.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon to the Chair and to the distinguished members of the committee from the Senate. My name is Imam Ahmed Anshur. I am the Executive Director of Al Ihsan Islamic Center at 955 Minnehaha Avenue, St. Paul. I'm also a leader with the Muslim Coalition. I urge you to approve the driver license for all, Bill HF4. To me, the core issue is about basic human dignity of all people. Refusing to issue the state ID for some people deprives them of the ability to walk or move about and places them in constant risk of arrest. In short, it deprives people of a basic dignity. God reminds us in the Quran, وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ وحملناهم في البر والبحر ورزقناهم من الطيبات وفضلناهم على كثير ممن خلقنا تفضيلا, which literally can be translated as, and we have certainly honored the children of Adam on the land and the sea, and provided for them of the good things, and prepared them over most of the creation. The lack of state ID, the lack of state-issued ID deprives dignity from people of all races and ethnicities, but it particularly impacts our Latino community. As a Muslim faith leader, I feel compelled to stand next to my Latino neighbors on this important issue. Committee members, roads will be safer. Workers could get to their jobs easier, and fewer people will live in fear if we pass this bill. I believe depriving our community members the right to drive is a political stance and not a common sense law. It is about marginalizing and targeting some of our most important contributors to our economy. The bottom line, dear members, we want to increase human dignity. We are people of faith. We believe in God. We believe we have to stand in front of God to answer for how we treated our fellow human beings. Please, vote for human dignity for all. Please, vote for an inclusive society. Please, approve the driver license for all bill, HF4. Thank you.
Thank you, Imam. Welcome, Mr. Atkins.
Chair Dibble and members of the committee, good afternoon. My name is Jason Adkins. I'm the Executive Director of the Minnesota Catholic Conference, the public policy voice of the Catholic Church in Minnesota, and we're here to support driver's licenses for all, Senate File 27. Thank you for the opportunity to testify in favor of this important bill, which we have supported for many, many years. The Catholic bishops of Minnesota support driver's licenses for all because of the need to keep families together. A broken immigration system that simultaneously invites people into the country so that they can serve often as cheap labor, while at the same time making their presence unlawful, is exploitative in the worst sense of the term. In the wake of Congress's failure to enact comprehensive immigration reform, Minnesota can act to provide some very basic stability to our undocumented brothers and sisters and their families, who need not fear deportation because of a routine traffic stop or when they get in an accident. With this legislation, we can promote traffic safety and the needs of law enforcement to work effectively with our immigrant community. This law serves all of us and the common good. To those who speak reflexively of not rewarding, quote, lawbreakers, I would encourage you to study the realities of our broken immigration system and get to know the immigrant families in your communities who have built lives here amid some instability. These are our brothers and sisters all around us, and many of them are in our Catholic parishes. The rule of law, of course, is an important value, but our laws are broken and need fixing. We need to focus on the human realities in front of us and remedy those challenges in ways that respect the common good. And this bill does exactly that. In the words of my boss, Archbishop Bernard Hebda, I believe this legislation is an important human rights test. Will we as Minnesotans embrace our brothers and sisters and help them live in a way that costs nothing to us as a community? Or will we be overcome by what Pope Francis calls a culture of indifference that fails in the duty to see the needs of our brothers and sisters? Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Atkins. Next, I will call on St. Paul Commander Sherry Folkowski. And then after that, we'll hear from Bernie Burnham from the AFL-CIO.
Hi, my name is Sherry Polkowski. I've been in law enforcement for over 25 years. I'm a commander at the St. Paul Police Department.
Ben, can you pull the microphone
Mic
a little closer
closer?
to your mouth? Thank you.
Okay, Commander Sherry Polkowski. I work at the St. Paul Police Department. I've been there for over 25 years, and I'm here to support this bill, and thank you. I appreciate the offer to come and testify. I'd be amiss if I didn't also say that the Minnesota Peace and Police Officers Association also supports this bill. So we all want to make Minnesota roads safer. This bill allows people who want to be compliant to be able to do so. We in law enforcement have seen accidents on the roadways because people have not understand the rules of the road. This is an opportunity for everybody to be educated and have that opportunity. In law enforcement, when people have a picture ID, it makes our interaction with them quicker and simpler. It creates less exposure that they have with us, and that creates less stress on the individual. It also eliminates us having to handle other types of documentation and identification sources like passports or things like that. So let's make Minnesota safer together and all our roads safer and support this bill. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Commander and members. I will just call your attention to the some of the written material in our packets, letters from the Chief of the Cold Spring Richmond Police Department in support, the Sheriff of Stearns County, the Chief in Sauk Center, Sheriff Dwana Witt of Hennepin County, as well as a letter from the MPPOA, the Minnesota Police and Peace Officers Association. If you can take a glance at those. And if I could take this opportunity, I was remiss at the outset in welcoming Senators Howe and Her to our committee. Our committee has grown by 2, and we're very, very pleased to have you here. You got to jump in on a banner day, our biggest hearing so far. And if you two wouldn't mind just taking 15 seconds to introduce yourselves briefly to the committee and to those who are gathered. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm State Senator Fong He. I represent Eastside St. Paul. This bill really matters to me as well. So it's a good to start up in this committee with this bill. This has been my 4th term, and I represent the diversity of Eastside St. Paul. East African, Latino, Southeast Asian, along with the European descent that's been here for several generations, and it has a lot of a lot of spiritual ground, sacred ground to the Native American community in my district. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator.
I'm Senator Jeff Howe. I serve Senate District 13, which is in Stearns County and part of Benton County, basically wraps around St. Cloud. I've been in the legislature a decade, and I've always served on the Transportation Committee, so I'm happy to be back on here. And I have carried a version of this bill numerous times during my time here at the legislature.
Great. Glad to have you on. Got you on by hook or by crook, but we got you. All right. Thank you. Welcome, Ms. Burnham.
Good afternoon, Senator Dibble and members of the committee. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you today. My name is Bernie Burnham, and I'm the president of the Minnesota AFL-CIO, the collective voice of Minnesota's unions. I'm here today to speak in favor of Senate File 27, restoring access to
President Burnham, could I ask you to just a little bit closer to the microphone? Thank you.
I'm here today to speak in favor of Senate File 27, restoring access to driver's licenses for all, regardless of immigration status. Immigrants were and are essential in building our country as laborers, and immigrant workers played an integral role in fighting the pandemic and keeping Minnesota moving forward. All Minnesotans deserve to be eligible for a standard Class D driver's license. Labor firmly stands behind this legislation, knowing it will improve the lives of adults and all of our children. When this legislation is passed, it will improve safety for all Minnesotans. Drivers will need to pass a written and driving test to get their license, ensuring all drivers are certified. It also means they are required to purchase auto insurance. We talk about equity in our state of Minnesota all the time. Restoring driver's licenses for all will ensure that parents can get their children better access to health care, nutrition, and educational opportunities. In rural areas of our state, there is minimal or none at all access to public transportation. Our friends and neighbors need to be able to have a driver's license to meet basic needs for a successful life, regardless of where they live. Currently, there are 18 states and the District of Columbia who have enacted laws to allow driver's licenses for all. As you heard from Senator Mohammed earlier, up until 2003, Minnesota allowed the issuance of driver's licenses, regardless of immigration status or possession of a valid Social Security number. At that time, access was unilaterally eliminated. It is time to right that wrong. If we are truly to be one Minnesota, we must make this happen. Please do the right thing and restore driver's licenses for all. Again, the Minnesota AFL stands firmly behind this bill. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your testimony. Next, I will call up representatives of the business community. We have Laura Bordelon here from the Minnesota Chamber, Jill Sims from Hospitality Minnesota, and John Pacheco from the Latino Chamber of Commerce. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. My name is Laura Bordelon. I'm the Senior Vice President for Advocacy at the Minnesota Chamber, but I'm also here on behalf of several other employer groups that include AgriGrowth, the Minnesota Pork Producers, and the Minnesota Milk Producers Association. Thank you for the opportunity to testify in support of Senate File 27. Minnesota businesses value the contributions of immigrants to our state. Their role as workers, entrepreneurs, and consumers are important to the development and growth of our economy and our communities. Minnesota employers are facing an increasingly acute workforce shortage in nearly every industry statewide. In addition, we are experiencing record low unemployment rates, high labor participation rates, and a net migration pattern of more individuals leaving Minnesota than are moving here. Immigrants are a key solution to this challenge. They may be our only source of net population growth if patterns hold over the next 10 years. Our group supports Senate File 27. Minnesota employers rely on immigrant workers to serve their customers and produce the goods and services we use and enjoy. In many instances, the place of work may be some distance away from home. To get back and forth safely, workers should complete state drivers' training and licensing requirements, including securing insurance. This not only benefits workers and their employers, but other Minnesota drivers. Our groups support federal immigration reform and recognize that as we wait for immigration solutions on the federal level, that the state has a role to play in specific issues, state-specific issues. This bill addresses a state-based concern and a state public safety and employment need. The bipartisan work on this issue in the past has been instrumental in moving this policy forward. We hope that will continue as the bill makes its way through the legislative process, increasing and gaining support from both sides of the aisle. Thank you for the opportunity to testify today, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Ms. Bordelon. Ms. Sims.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, members. My name is Jill Sims, and I'm the Director of Government Relations for Hospitality Minnesota, representing Minnesota's restaurant and food service, hotel and lodging, and resort and campground sectors. Thank you for the opportunity to speak in support of Senate File 27. Hospitality Minnesota has long supported a common-sense approach to immigration reform that includes allowing workers to obtain driving credentials. Minnesota's hospitality industry is highly dependent on immigrant workers to staff our restaurants, hotels, and resorts. Driver's license for all is an important component of eliminating obstacles for workers to safely and reliably connect with their employers throughout the state. The pandemic has exacerbated Minnesota's declining workforce, and the hospitality industry has continued to be challenged by a shortage of more than 20,000 workers from pre-pandemic levels. In today's tight labor market, the workforce shortage continues to be one of the biggest challenges to recovery for our state's hospitality and tourism industry. As immigrants help fill the worker shortage gap for many companies in our industry and contribute to all aspects of Minnesota's community and economy, we believe it is important that workers are able to access driving privileges. When driving privileges are available to all, not only can workers get to and from their jobs legally and safely, but it opens opportunity for more workers to help alleviate supply chain and transportation challenges that so many of our businesses face. 18 states across the country have enacted laws to provide immigrant driving credentials, and this session, Minnesota has a unique opportunity to help hospitality businesses and employees alike by taking a common-sense approach on accessible driving for all. We thank Senator Mohammed for bringing this forward, and we encourage members to support Senate File 27. This is a practical solution that will increase safe and reliable transportation for all workers, benefiting greater Minnesota and metro areas alike. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Welcome, Mr. Pacheco.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. My name is John Pacheco, and I'm president of the Latino Chamber of Commerce of Minnesota. We have a little over 600 members statewide. Our goal is to facilitate the economic growth of Latino businesses and, by extension, the economic growth of Minnesota. One of the ways we do this is by working to reduce barriers impacting both small and large businesses across the state. We all recognize that there's a significant need for workers in Minnesota and across the country. And we are now looking at something where we have a segment of our community that's on the bench. We can't afford to have that happen. We need the workers across the board. And even now, we don't recognize the changes in our economy. Look around and actually in your day-to-day lives, how many times you have something delivered? These drivers for Amazon, for Lyft, for your local restaurant that you share. These are jobs that are needed tomorrow and really increase the local impact here, but yet we're talking about isolating a segment of the population that can do this work with not having a license here. So we hear this again from corporations. We hear it every day almost, that someone's calling and saying, I need workers. And so I think we really have to consider the economic impact of having these folks not included. But I will tell you there's another impact that we don't often recognize because we view this as an individual privilege and right, and maybe that's correct. It's you are the one who apply it. But it really has a great impact on our families. If you are stuck and you look around and see if you lost one driver's license in your family, what would that impact be? Would you be taking your children to basketball? Would you have two economies now because you could both get to work? Would you be so happy at 16 when they get their own license? And so there's a lot of ways this impacts families, both for income, their economy, their place in the community, and their place in faith. And so we have to take a look at this impact is much greater. Now, we understand that having a driver's license is a privilege, not a right. It comes with responsibilities, taking a driver's test, following the legal responsibility of legal operations of a vehicle. If you have a car, having insurance. All these things are important, and they ensure that all of us are safe. And you've heard from others talking about safety as a big issue, and it is. But I will tell you, not having or reducing the amount of driver's licenses in a family is a big issue. So I will tell you again that this is more than an economic issue. It's a workers' issue. It's a small and large business issue, and most importantly to us, it's a family issue. And I urge you to support this driver's license for all because it does matter to all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pacheco. And next I'll call on Peng Zhang, who is with Driver and Vehicle Services. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, members of the committee, my name is Peng Zhang, and I'm the Director of the Driver and Vehicle Services Division in the Department of Public Safety. Thank you for allowing me to testify on this bill. I'm here today to testify in support of this bill for the Department of Public Safety. I want to start by saying that the governor, the lieutenant governor, and DPS, we are all committed to this idea. DVS supports expanding availability of credentials to all Minnesota residents. We recognize the positive impact this will have on thousands of Minnesotans and how it can benefit the state. We believe that having more licensed drivers on our roadways will help make everyone safer. We also believe that with proper funding levels, which this bill does provide, we can successfully implement this bill. We would recommend a start date of January 1st, 2024, to give us the time to hire the needed staff, to create the processes, and to train DVS staff and our deputy registrars around the state who process over 75% of driver's license transactions. With that being said, we can be ready by October 1st. The recommended start date is just really so that we can ensure the most likelihood of success. I want to just close by saying, by reiterating that we absolutely support this bill, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Director Zhang. All right, and we'll move to some of the representatives of the organizations that represent the coalition on this matter, and we'll start with Jovita Morales from the Minnesota Immigrant Movement, Mayela De La Rosa from COPOL, and Abina Abraham from the Black Immigrant Collective. Come forward. We have also, just so you're getting ready, Ms. Silva from CAPI and Maria Salinas from Unidos, who I think will be joining us on Zoom. Welcome, Ms. Morales.
Good afternoon, Chair Scott Dibble, Lead Jasinski, Senator Mohammed, and member of the committees. My name is Jovita Morales. I identify as an indigenous woman of color, founder of the Minnesota Immigrant Movement, and community leader of the driver license bill in Minnesota since 2008. Today, I stand here to represent and advocate for those who are not present in this room. Our community carries a huge pain for not having access to a driver license for many, many years. Immigrants, parents cannot take their children to recreational and educational activities. And the result of that is that our youth are being left behind. It is not our children's fault that these laws are causing inequitable access to opportunities for their future. Parents are afraid to drive. Families have been traumatized, and therefore, generational trauma and mental health continue to impact our communities until this day. I'm a primary example of the inequity that not having a driver license causes trauma. On August 1st, 2007, as you remember, the 35W bridge collapsed. I was preparing to head home from work. I was waiting for my children to come back from a field trip. Suddenly, I received a phone call from a youth staff member. She mentioned that they had an accident. The youth had fallen in the water. All of a sudden, the call was cut off. As a parent, I was scared, shocked, and felt helpless. My heart jumped out because both of my son and my daughter were on the school bus, and my body got paralyzed because my kids didn't know how to swim. After a traumatic event, going back and forth to the clinic, I was desperate and decided to drive a vehicle. This historical moment that affect my family and many parents motivating me to initiate a driver license campaign. I have been here for more than 15 years with Mujeres en Liderazgo, Mesa Latina, through the Minnesota immigrant movement, fighting for this initiative that has not passed and has deprived us from from our human rights. We have done a lot of work in our part, such as door knocking during the election, testimonials to the legislators like today, vigils, phone banking, lobbying, community meetings, Aztec dances and ceremonials, hunger strike, and even camping outside the state capitol. Despite global pandemic, and even today, we're still present. Chair and members of the committee vote yes on SF 27. Once again, my name is Jovita Morales, founder of the Minnesota Immigrant Movement. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Ms. Morales. All right. No applause, please. Thank you. Ms. De La Rosa.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, member of the Senate Transportation Committee. My name is Mariela De La Rosa, and I am a member of COPAL, Communities Organizing Latino Power and Action. I am a resident of South Minneapolis and a mother of 2 children who has lived in this community for 19 years. I am a USA citizen whose family has been impacted by the lack of a driver's license and the fear of it instills. 3 members of my family were deported following stops by police, and therefore their families were divided and lacked essential support. 2 families of USA citizens lost their immigrant fathers to unnecessary deportation following minor infractions such as missing a traffic light. These situations are lived day by day in our communities, and we are living in fear while fully contributing to the economic and livelihood of Minnesota. And this unnecessary campaign of fear started in 2003, joined 18 states, DC, and Puerto Rico in realizing driver's license for all. Please act now to pass this legislation within 45 days. Thank you. Gracias.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your testimony. Welcome to the committee.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Abina Abraham, and I'm one of the co-founders and co-director of Black Immigrant Collective. We are a Black-led immigrant organization working at the intersection of Blackness and immigration. I'm here because I believe in driver's licenses for all. Access to a driver's license is a basic necessity. Black immigrants, like all Black people in Minnesota, are targeted by the police because of the high amount of racial profiling. Driving while Black continues to be an issue in our state. Black drivers are stopped far more than our share of the driving age population. We are 214% more likely to be pulled over. When you look around, you will not see many Black undocumented immigrants being public about their status. This is why they fear profiling. We know that while Black immigrants only make up 7% of our immigrant population, we make up 25% of immigrants in detention or facing deportation. Many of our members that are currently in detention today are there due to an encounter with police during a racist traffic stop. Undocumented people drive for the same reasons why many of you drive: to go to work, to run errands, take their children to after-school activities, drive to the park and the mall, go to their place of worship. We love public transportation, but we also know that it's not accessible to people that live in the suburbs, and worse for those that live in greater Minnesota. The ability to move freely improves our collective quality of life. As you consider this bill, we'd like to highlight the following. We demand that immigrants have access to the standard ID that all Minnesotans have access to, and that there are no markings indicating their status, as this will provide ICE with information they can utilize for enforcement and surveillance. It is unnecessary to use cheap talking points claiming that undocumented immigrants will use these IDs to vote. There is no historical evidence of this happening in Minnesota or anywhere in this country. It is important that access to driver's licenses is reinstated for undocumented immigrants in Minnesota. For the past 20 years, we've been used as political chess pieces, and we say no more. The time is now. This is not a political issue, this is a family issue, and this is a quality of life issue. Passing this legislation is long overdue, and our community is counting on lawmakers in this building to make the right decision by our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Abraham. I have Ms. Silva on my list. All right, welcome. And then we'll go to Ms. Salinas on Zoom.
Hello.
Welcome to the committee.
Thank you. What time is it? Good evening. My name is Sarah Silva. I'm here with Minnesota. My name is Sarah Silva. I'm here with Minnesota Immigration Rights Action Committee. Today, I just want to present a small story of when I was 20 years old. I woke up at 5 a.m. I proudly put on my uniform, my black and white serving uniform. I used to work at Red Lobster at the time. Excuse me, but I have to shout out my store, 157. I worked there for 10 years, so they would appreciate this. The restaurant didn't open until 11 a.m. I noted that I woke up at 5 a.m. I woke up at 5 a.m. to get a spot at the DMV because I could no longer wait another day to not get a license. I sat there for hours in my uniform. It was very uncomfortable. After I took my road test, I got in line, received my license, and I walked to my car. I passed my driving test in a 98 Toyota Corolla. It got really good gas mileage back then. I did a small dance in the parking lot because I had no other way to celebrate at that time. I hurried up and I drove myself to work. I felt an enormous weight lift off my shoulders that day. I felt freedom for myself and for my parents to no longer depend on me, not depend on me, but for them to be scared about me driving, to check in on me all the time. I could actually drive them places. I could pick up my sister from school in case there was a gun threat or a bomb threat. She's 13. This could happen in any school. Again, I'll never forget that moment. To say this bill cannot be supported because it'll influence the situation at the border, I have to say respectfully, it's a pathetic excuse. The border crossed them first. To pass this bill does not take away from any of you financially. You don't pay for this out of your pocket. The taxpayers do, which are behind me, which are in the community, which when you go to Chipotle, they're making the food back there for you. When you go to your fancy restaurants, which I love too, they're back there in the kitchen. One day, these people will live in your community, and you will also be implicated by that. You'll see them driving up and down, and you might not like it when you see it, that these people live here and in your community. But why not create a safer space for everyone? We all love to make money, correct? We all know that we are in a surplus thanks to a lot of these immigrants, and you all need 270,000 to maintain that. So I hope that you can find it in your hearts to do the right thing. It doesn't affect you financially. You're not paying for this out of pocket. We have more than enough money, all of us, to do the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your testimony. Just a quick message to Ms. Salinas and Ms. Gallego-Sanchez. I think we're still fixing something on Zoom, so hang tight, and we'll call on you when that technology matter, that technical matter has been resolved. So I'm going to jump to individuals who have signed up ahead of time to speak, and I'll just call out the next three so you can all get ready. First up will be Kay Carvajal Moran, Marco Hernandez, and Emmanuel Ponce. welcome to the committee, and please introduce yourself and proceed with your testimony. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair and members of the committee. My name is Keyoen Carvajal Moran, and I would like to introduce myself by naming some of my identities. The first one is I'm the daughter of immigrant parents. I'm the eldest sister. I'm a first-generation college student that is currently attending Augsburg University. I'm a youth worker, and I'm a community organizing and a volunteer for the grassroots organization called Minnesota Immigrant Movement. Today, I'm going to be testifying on behalf of my mother, who's crucial and influences all of the civic engagement work I do, and to honor my 5-year-old lived experience. A few qualities to know about my mom is that she's great, caring, brave, and strong. Because of my parents' immigration status, that forced my dad to work dusk till dawn. I barely grew up with a father being present. My mother played both roles. I remember early on at the age of 3 knowing how to take public transportation and walking long distances, my mother holding my hand with one arm and then carrying my baby sister, and then my brother being in her belly. In fact, there was a time that my mom fell hard on the ice with all 3 of us. She didn't have anybody at the time, so there was no one to ask for help. We would walk so much, especially in the cold weather, that I started developing health issues. At the age of 4, I started visiting the emergency center every year, and every time I ended there, I remember my mom crying, and as a child, I would blame myself. Kay, stop getting sick. You're hurting, Mom. My mother's love made her have to drive, and I clearly remember driving with her. Every time the cops would pass us, she would go into shock mode. Her hands trembling so hard, she started reciting the Lord's Prayer as her protection. And I'm never going to forget the panic attacks that my mom went to. I remember it so vividly. Now, I'm 21. I have a driver's license. Nothing has changed. My education has been immensely affected by my mom not being able to have a driver's license. As the oldest sister, there are certain responsibilities that fall on me. And if I don't do it, my mom will do it. And it can put her at risk. Responsibilities such as taking and picking my siblings to school, getting groceries, picking them from late at night at work. And my schedule is so limited that my education has to be put last. This past semester, my entire family fell ill with COVID-19, and I had to be the one getting medicine, taking them to the doctor. Thus, I had to miss class. As a result, I failed that class in particularly. I explained my situation to my professor, but I literally had to be dying to be able to have an excuse. And it's unfortunately because study it's going to set me back to getting closer to graduating. In that class, now I had to pay out of my pocket. And not being able to have a driver's license have created huge ripple effects on my education, a ripple effect to other students, the students that I work with. And it's frustrating because it's always our brown, Black, Indigenous, LGBTQIA students that are forced to show up to tell re-traumatizing events in their life. Our youth are always left behind, not because they want to, but because the systems that there are currently in place. And I hope my words don't get twisted or undocumented parents are stereotyped. My mom did not force me to run errands or to put my education second. The system did. And so I want to thank you for hearing my mother's story and mine. And I ask you to do the right thing and vote for SF 27. Thank you. Tlazokamati.
Thank you, Ms. Carvajal Moran. Mr. Hernandez.
Good afternoon, Chair Dibble, Lead Jasinski, Senator Mohammed, and members of the committee. My name is Marco Hernandez, and I'm the Policy Director for Tending the Soil, a coalition that includes Unidos Minnesota, SEIU Local 26, CETUL, Inquilinos Unidos por Justicia, and the New Justice Project. I'm here to speak in favor of Senate File 27. In 2003, former Governor Tim Pawlenty removed access to driver's licenses for people who are undocumented. Pawlenty's administration made it a requirement to have a Social Security number in order to apply for a Minnesota license, a right that was provided to all Minnesotans prior, documented or not, was abruptly taken away for political points, not legal basis. That ain't right. Nearly 20 years later, immigrant communities are still in the shadows and are limited in the jobs they are able to get and the homes they're able to apply for as well. More employers continue to make having a driver's license a requirement for employment. Rental applications are even looking more favorably to people who have a car and require identification to apply as well. Immigrants contribute so much to the state in the agricultural industry, the hospitality industry, and the construction industry, only for the state to turn their backs on them. The main responsibility of our government is to make the lives of all Minnesotans easier, not harder. We have the support of many county sheriffs and peace officers throughout the state and the Minnesota Chamber of Commerce. Immigrant parents will be able to drive their kids to school and drive themselves to work. More people will be trained on the laws of the road. Our community will be able to travel without the fear of being stopped by a police officer and placed in deportation hearings. Minnesota's economy will also benefit since more people will be able to keep their jobs and fully enjoy what this beautiful state has to offer. So please, I urge y'all to consider voting for Senate File 27. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Welcome to the committee.
Hello, my name, members of the Transportation Committee. My name is Emmanuel Ponce Barrera. I'm a member of the Copal community and resident of Prior Lake currently. I'm a longtime Minnesota resident and a DACA recipient. Growing up, being an undocumented child was especially stressful. One reason was because I got to miss out on the simple things of life that entitles a child, because solely of the fact that my parents did not have licenses. I didn't get to go to the dance. I didn't get to go to prom. I didn't get to do many things that our children in the community get to do day by day. I didn't get to participate in soccer or football or basketball, simply for the fact of the matter that my parents were fearful of being pulled over. With that being said, with this law, gives my parents a second chance, many parents a second chance with their younger children. I have a sister who is 12 years old at the time right now, and I have to run her around like if she were my own child. I got married in October of last year, and I have not been able to put time into my family yet because I have the burden that many people would consider. But I use it as fuel every day to get my sister from one place to another, which is something that I shouldn't have to do, but I do it pridefully. That's something that my parents could do if given the opportunity to have a driver's license in Minnesota. So please join 18 states, DC, and Puerto Rico in restoring all the licenses for all. That was the case before 2003. Please take action to pass this within 45 days in session. Thank you for the time. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for your testimony. Senator Champion, welcome. Welcome to the committee. No clapping. And yeah, if you could come to the testimony table and share some thoughts with us.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you to the committee for having me this afternoon. And I was detained someplace else, you know, with the court and other things, right? And I did have an opportunity to see that Senator Mohammed was doing a really good job, and I was very proud of her. And I'm proud of the fact that this committee has come together and are hearing this bill and are prepared to pass it. I started on this journey with this bill some time ago, and Jovita and Mariano and the Minnesota immigrant movement and others who worked with me from the very beginning. And the interesting thing about these important pieces of policy is that they don't go away, they only get better, and it shows more and more how important and needed they are. So when I think about the various faces that I see here today and the testimony that has already been rendered, it just reinforces my desire and drive to really make sure that we all make sure that there's a driver's license for all. Think about it, it's not just for them. Yes, they're going to drive to work and need to drive to work in soccer, or as they say, football, but I say soccer. You know, or just to go to a baseball game, or even just to go to the store, whatever it is. We want them to have the ability to do that in a safe and constructive way. And you know what? That also helps you. Because we want people to drive on our streets that have had an opportunity to go through the classes and behind the wheel or whatever they have to do, or even pass the test. And even get nervous when they have to pass the test, and if they don't pass the test, somebody has to look at them and say, you didn't pass this time. Because that's something that we all have had to do. We don't want to deny them that opportunity to do it. But we also want to see the look on their face when they pass and demonstrate that they have the capacity to drive on our streets and get insurance and make sure that we're all as safe. I wait for the moment that they have an opportunity to throw their hands up in the air and talk about, I got it. That is something that is near and dear to my heart, but also to everyone who's represented here. And so even though I'm speaking at this dais and we've been working hard on it, we haven't been doing it because it's a useless task. It is because it's a necessary task. And so for you, there's a statement that I'll say that the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands at the time of convenience and comfort, but is where he stands at the time of challenge and controversy. We will be measured by were we willing to meet the moment. And everything that has been done before this moment leads us to this moment. And so I'm excited to be here. So I know that you didn't want me to say all those things, but I just want you to know how important I believe this work is, and I'm committed to this work because we have to get it across the finish line. So thank you, Mr. Chair, for you even were sitting in that seat when I did it years ago, and the Senate passed it 3 times. So let's renew that desire and renew that commitment and pass driver's license for all.
Thank you, Senator Champion. Senator Jasinski.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And Senator Champion, so I did get a chance to look at your bill from back in 2013, Senate File number 271. And I think a lot of us here would be in favor of passing this bill. A lot of work went into it. It's in a third engrossment, and a lot of changes were made. However, Senate File number 27 is drastically, and I'm saying drastically different than what was presented in Senate File number 271. And that's obviously, I think, a lot of our concerns. I think I could vote for Senate File 271. Senate File 27, I think, again, has many, many changes that really expand the scope of what was intended to be done with your bill back in 2013. So that's my comment.
Mr. Chair?
Senator Champion.
And Senator, you know, the interesting thing about time is that you get a chance to look back on things, and even this process allows you to introduce a bill and then continue to work on it. I think what's represented here is what is desired. You know, there's a thought that some of the things that I did back in 2013 should be looked at differently, which I'm always open to, because you know what I want is for the right piece of policy and legislation to come before this body and our body and pass, so that the folks behind me and those who are listening to my weak voice have the ability to drive. So consider this is something that we're always open to, you know, talk to a cross-section of people about, but we want to make sure that the true essence of what we want isn't lost. And so whether it's what I did in 2013 or how that might find its way here or not, I'm okay with that, because at the end of the day, I want the folks behind me and others to feel like they are here, they are important, and that the information that is necessary to present so that they can get a driver's license, that we give them that opportunity by which to do that.
Thank you. Our conversation begins, which we will carry on next week. So moving on to, okay, I just want to mention that we are still having Zoom technology problems. So what will happen with a minimum of 2 people I know who want to testify by Zoom, Ms. Salinas and Ms. Gallegos Sanchez, we will take you up at the end of the list, and we're going to bring a computer up to the witness table, hook you up that way, and yeah, we got a little technology workaround that Jack, our technology guy, is going to help us with at that point in time. So moving on to the folks who have signed up ahead of time, I have Emilio Rodriguez, Lina Campos, Uriel, I don't have a last name, and Regina Olono. So those are the remaining 4 on the list of testifiers, and then we'll open up the forum. Emilio Rodriguez, Lina Campos, Uriel, Regina Olono. Welcome to the committee.
Hi, welcome. Thank you. Good afternoon, senators, members of the committee. It's a pleasure for me to be up here. You guys may have seen me before. My name is Emilio Rodriguez. I am an intern at the State Senate. I know I've spoken with Senator Carlson before. I'm here today on behalf of Driver's Licenses for All, here on behalf of COPAL, Comunidades Organizados por el Poder y Acción Latino. I am 19 years old. I am a student at the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities, and I'd like to tell the story of my father. He is an immigrant who came here legally. I grew up in Dallas, Texas. I remember him working day in, day and night for all of us to provide for my family, sometimes waking up at 5 in the morning to drive 3 hours to Houston, finishing work at 5 p.m., same trek back, 3 hours every day. Sometimes he would go nights sleepless. Sometimes he would just be absent from my life, and it was an impact for all of us. But he did it for my family. He did it so that I could build Legos and play video games and chase my dreams. And I'm here today because of him, because of his sacrifices. He has sacrificed a lot. He has sacrificed his own health, his own well-being, and many more things. And he did all of this as an immigrant who came here legally. For those who came here to escape poverty, to escape war, who came here undocumented because of those factors, they would have done everything my dad did times 10 under the immense burden, under the immense fear of being deported. And here in Minnesota, since 2003, as many have said before, the right to have a license has been stripped from them. And they've been forced to live like this, under this terror, under this fear of losing their livelihoods, of losing everything that they have worked for. It's beyond unfair, it's beyond inhumane to force our neighbors, our teachers, our farmers, our grocers to live like this, especially when they're so vital to the well-being of our communities and our state, especially in greater Minnesota. These people carry the agricultural sector on their backs. These are the hardest working people on the planet, and we don't give them licenses. We don't give them the ability to go to and from work to provide for us. They have fed your families. They have taught our children. They are our neighbors, our friends, and they pay taxes. Many undocumented immigrants pay taxes. They have paid more taxes than the former president of the United States. They are an asset. They are instrumental to the well-being of our communities and our state. And I urge you all to pass this. I imagine for a second having your family and your livelihood taken away, stripped away in one fell swoop for doing everyday things, like many have said before, going to school, taking your children to school, getting groceries, going to work, and then having everything you've worked for stripped away from you in just one fell swoop. Many of these issues could be resolved through something as simple as a piece of garment plastic. And so I urge you to pass this legislation now, as soon as possible, so that these people can provide for their families and for their communities, make this great shining North Star state better without the risk of losing everything. I ask you to end this merciless campaign of fear started in 2003 by racism and xenophobia, and I ask you to grant them the dignity that they deserve as human beings that they have been denied of for so long. When we all do better, we all do better. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome to the committee.
Thank you. Good afternoon, members of the Senate Transportation Committee. My name is Linda Perez Campos. I'm a member of COPAL, Communities of Organizing Latino Power in Action. I'm a resident of Apple Valley and a mother of 2 children. Our family lives in fear. Every time we drive to school, to work, to essential medical appointments for myself or my children, we live in fear of being stopped for any reason. My 13-year-old U.S. citizen and born and raised in Minnesota knows all too well the fear we are living in. He does what he can to modify his schedule and asks us constantly how he can help. My 17-year-old, who has autism, feared visit to his therapy appointments. Even seeing an officer is a cause of kind of stress that could result in a traffic stop or even a panic attack. I want to be a fully licensed driver. I want to drive safely and comply with traffic laws like any other Minnesotan. This is not to mention the financial impact of this disastrous policy. The cost of car insurance is detrimental to our family and affects the well-being of our children. Please end this unnecessary campaign of fear started in 2003. Join 18 states, DC and Puerto Rico in realizing driver license for all. Please act now to pass this legislation within 45 days. Thank you. Muchas gracias.
Thank you so much. Welcome to the committee. Please introduce yourself and proceed with your testimony.
My name is Uriel Perez Espinosa. For the record, URIEL-PEREZ-ESPINOZA. Mr. Chair, thank you for letting me be here. Members of the committee, good afternoon. I'm the Vice President of Unite Here Local 17, the hospitality union that represents workers in the Twin Cities metro area in Rochester, Minnesota. About 70% of our members are minority groups and or recent immigrants. They do the jobs that many people do not want to do, scrubbing toilets or washing dishes. For decades, I have heard sad stories from our members. Many of them do not have a driver's license. There is one story that always pops out in my mind. Erika from Mexico, who's worked in a downtown hotel for more than 22 years, she was assaulted. Her house was broken in many years ago. Her husband was a point guard and a head and robbed the red money. Her husband was afraid to call the police simply because he didn't have an ID and was afraid to turn into immigration. My union members often tell me that they have to pay cash to cash out their paychecks instead of having a bank account. My members can't get a house because they don't have an ID. Members were sick because they do not have an ID to present to the doctor. The worst, families have been divided because the father was stopped by the police for violating a traffic light or had a broken light in their car. The father was deported. Dear members, Mr. Chair, if you enact SF 27, you will enhance public safety, provide or increase financial stability for families, increase employment opportunities, lower our insurance premiums. If you enact driver licenses, it will result in increases in registration and title fees, vehicle use taxes, and gasoline sales taxes. If you enact driver licenses, will increase the housing purchasing power of the Latino community that is already $10 billion. Enacting driver licenses will be a great benefit for you, your families, and our state economy. Please vote yes to enact Senate File 27. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Espinoza. I thought I was going to mention when President Burnham spoke, a couple of other labor unions represented in our packets. The Minnesota Nurses Association sent a letter. LIUNA, I think, has not made it into your packets, but will distribute a letter from the laborers, LIUNA, as well. So thank you very much for your testimony. Ms. Olono.
Thank you, Chair and members of the committee. My name is Regina Olono Vidales. I am a leader with Unidos Minnesota, and I am part of the undocumented youth here in the state. I am here today to speak in favor of Senate File 27, the Driver's Licenses for All bill. This past May, I recently graduated from Gustavus Adolphus College in St. Peter, Minnesota. I was lucky enough that I could walk most of my campus, but it became increasingly difficult my senior year, when I lived 20 minutes away and suffered an injury that prevented me from physically walking to class. I had to rely on friends or classmates for rides to campus, as transportation in small towns is complicated, to say the least. And knowing the hectic life of college students, I never had a guaranteed ride. This became a barrier to my learning, to internship opportunities, to extracurriculars, and it made the path to graduation harder. While I was able to figure it out and graduate, the issue continues to affect my day-to-day life. After graduating, I returned to my political home at Unidos, Minnesota. I wanted to give back to my community. I began volunteering around electoral work and immigration, but when our folks meet across the state, that is a huge area to cover when you don't have a license. I struggle to meet with my community, and my community struggles to get to us purely because of physical distance. People like us live in fear every day, just from going to work, to class, to buy groceries, you name it. This is an issue of transportation, accessibility, education, public safety, and so much more. I see a lot of women in the room as well, and you know, as a woman, you can't walk everywhere because it's not safe either. People shouldn't have to live in fear. I urge members of this committee, regardless of party affiliation, to support this bill and help us all live dignified and safe lives. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So now we're going to do the Zoom workaround.
How you doing?
Let's give it a try. All right, thanks, Jack. Oop. I need to, I think my mute. Yeah, okay, great. So, jumping back up to the list, Maria Salinas, who is in Wilmer. Please join us on Zoom and provide your testimony. So Ms. Salinas, are you able to start your video and unmute yourself? Welcome.
Hola.
Go ahead. We see you. Welcome to the committee. Please introduce yourself and provide your testimony.
Muy bien, buenas tardes. Tengan todos muy buenas tardes, Senado, y deseo que Dios los bendiga en este día. Primeramente, le doy gracias a Dios por tenernos aquí en esta reunión. Y segundo, pues soy María Salinas y soy madre de 3 hijos. Tengo un niño que es ciudadano americano. Vivo en Wilmer, Minnesota, con mis hijos. Soy líder de Fe y Justicia.
Ms. Salinas, I think, Ms. Salinas, we have someone here who can translate for you.
Hola, hola María, me llamo Marco Hernández, yo puedo interpretar. ¿Puedes reempezar otra vez su testimonio? Y vamos paso por paso.
Sí, sí, gracias. Pues tengan muy buenas tardes. Soy María Salinas.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is María Salinas.
Les deseo que Dios los bendiga y que esta tarde que lo que vayan a hablar sea de provecho y que una ayuda para nosotros los latinos, de los que deseamos la licencia de conducir.
God, thank you so
pues
much for
hoy-
having, Maria, pues, thank you so much for having me here. God bless you all. I'm here to speak in favor of the driver's licenses for all bill that would benefit our community. Okay?
Pues soy madre de 3 hijos, tengo un niño que es ciudadano americano, vivo en Wilmar, Minnesota. Soy líder de Fe y Justicia.
So I have 3 sons who are in school age, and I'm also a member of Unidos, the Fe en Justicia, or Faith and Justice program.
Moreli, cierra la puerta con escucha.
There's a lot of
Sí,
background.
pues yo lo que les quisiera decir de que hoy necesito decirles que vivo con miedo.
Today I have to
de-
tell you all that I live with the constant fear.
Que me detengan. Yo he manejado por necesidad aquí en Wilmar.
I have
Porque
had to
debo, bueno,
drive
tengo
for
que
necessity here
comprar.
in Wilmer.
Debo de salir a comprar comida para mis
I
hijos.
have to go to buy groceries for my kids,
También llevarlos a la escuela, al
to take them to
doctor.
school.
Por veces yo pago seguro también, porque quiero seguir las leyes, aunque con doble costo, porque así como nosotros que no tenemos licencia, el seguro del carro nos sale mucho más elevado, el bill es más caro, pues.
And esperad un momento, Maria. I drive out of necessity. I know that it is against the law, but it is out of necessity to take my kids to school and for the groceries. And I want to make sure that with this, the passage of the bill, that I can do this in confidence within the law and knowing the laws of the road. Okay, Maria.
Sí, pues lo que le quiero decir al representante del Senado, que nuestros hijos sufren porque a veces uno por miedo no lo saca a los parques, el tiempo de verano, a veces uno, donde el doctor en actividades de la escuela.
And I just want to say to the senators who are here in this committee today that I feel for my kids who, not only do I have to drive out of necessity, but I can't take them to school, I can't take them to the park, and so they feel really sad in this reality that I can't take them to the extracurricular activities that other students with parents with driver's license are provided. Okay, Maria.
Sí, pues pienso yo, ¿verdad? Porque para que los niños se desarrollen y tengan una vida exitosa en este estado, pues yo tengo que tener una licencia de conducir. También tenemos a veces miedo de ser arrestados. O sea, el problema es de que el problema me ha pasado a mí es de que como yo he tenido un carro y yo tuve un pequeño accidente, el policía me paró, entonces yo ya como que ya me tiene registrada, entonces ya no puedo salir porque me para el policía cada rato.
Okay. And there have been an incident with the police in which now to this point that I don't have confidence in going out to the street and driving in my car because I've been stopped before and I don't want to be stopped again in fear of getting in even bigger trouble. Maria, estás en mute.
Nos hace daño a nuestros hijos y pues le pido a los le pido a los del Senado que apoyen a la licencia de conducir y porque es bien difícil para nosotros aquí en este pueblo y y vamos a seguir apoyando, pues para nosotros es difícil andar buscando raite para que nos anden, porque no necesitamos manejar, no podemos andar buscando raite todo el tiempo porque a veces nos dan.
Okay, and I urge the senators here to support the driver's licenses for all. We can't always rely on other people to provide rides, and there are times in which it is a necessity to get on the road, and there aren't others there to provide the driving for the community, and so I urge the senators to vote yes on SF 27.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Hernandez, for your translation. Thank you, Ms. Salinas. And next we have Mirtha Magali Gallegos Sanchez. If you could please open up your video and unmute yourself and proceed with your testimony. Welcome to the committee.
Hi, so I will be speaking on behalf of my mom who had to go to a different Zoom meeting, so she couldn't speak, but she wrote down her testimony, so I'll just be reading it on her behalf. Hello, Chair Dibble, Lead Jasinski, President Champion, Senator Mohammed, and committee members. My name is Maria Sanchez, and I am a resident in Waseca, Minnesota. I own my own cleaning business here in town. I am also a student now, as I have recently decided to go back to school to get my associate's degree in business management. However, a lack of driving privileges has deterred me from being able to enjoy the beautiful South Central Mankato campus. I struggle with online classes and often misunderstand my professors because I learn better in person. I also have a son who attends the Waseca Junior Senior High School. After the pandemic, my child did not qualify for school bus transportation, which we have relied heavily upon for many years with my other children. I struggle to find ways to take my son to school and often have to ask others to give him a ride to school, his soccer practices, student council meetings, Minnesota Honor Society activities, or his job. A lack of driving privilege also limits the areas of Minnesota that we can explore as a family. We rarely leave our hometown to see the rest of the state, which we love so dearly. We are camping and hiking enthusiasts, and our greatest wish has always been to go camping and hiking up north at our Great Lakes. My business would have the potential to grow if I was given the opportunity to offer my services to our neighboring communities as well. By voting for the SF-27, you are creating access for families to get to and from work or school safely. You will bring more spent funding throughout the state as families will travel and create memories throughout the state. Please vote for SF-27. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So that wraps up the testimony from folks who have signed up ahead of time. I would invite anyone forward who would like to speak in opposition first. Senator Jasinski, do you have anyone in mind?
Mr. Chair, again, going back to the 2 days' notice, we were not able to get our testifiers in place. I think given the knowledge on your side that you had much more time. So with given the short time, 2 days, we were not able to come up with any testifiers. So thank you.
All right. Is anyone in the audience who would like to testify in opposition? All right. Please come forward. I'm sorry. What did you say?
Be clear, not against. How y'all doing?
All right. Thank you. I just want to be sure there's no one in opposition to come forward. Okay, please introduce yourself for the record and provide your testimony. For those who are here, I'll just notice the time is 10 after 5, and we're going to adjourn at 5:30. Thank you. Welcome.
My name is Humberto Fernandez, and I'll be thankful and grateful to be here. And I am from Minneapolis. 25 years ago, I came to this country, and I became a professional cook. I travel all over the country. I teach people how to cook. When you go into a restaurant, the menu you see, I created that kind of menus, and now I can do anything. But for 20 years, we waiting for what? 20 years ago is a long time. You got the power. Only you got the power to change the law. You got the power to do the right thing. Is to give us for all driver license. Please. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your testimony. All right. All right. Welcome. Welcome to the committee. Please state your name and then proceed with your testimony.
Hello, my name is Jesus Moreno. I'm 43 years old. I'm sorry, I'm kind of nervous right now. Okay, first one, thank you for giving me time to express and talk about my experience. I live in Minnesota. I've been living in Minnesota for 22 years old, 22 years. And what we're experiencing here really affects our kids a lot, and it will affect the future. I don't have a driver license, and I've been paying many, like $1,000, at least $7,000 to $8,000 in 15 years. I'm fine, but I have to support my family, I have to feed my kids, and I have to show them how not to be afraid. And what I think is my kids, I will have to pay them. We told them, our kids, to get a driver license, get classes, and because sooner or later there will not be another way to take them to school or any place. I wish I have a driver license and I take my kids out of the state, out of the city, take to any place where they really want to go. I wish I can take them to do a sport. My kids can't do that. And the worst part for me is I commit myself to my work, and I ready to feed my kids, and I really don't spend much time with them. And I tell them, I wish I can go with you guys and pick you up from school. And sometimes my kids want to spend more time in classes. It's kind of hard for me to tell them, don't be afraid of police officers when they're close by. It's hard. But I'm seeing people, friends of mine, tell their kids, oh, just be careful with the police. Just be careful with this. If you see lights, there are police around here. Keep an eye on this. Keep an eye on them. And I think it's unfair to create fear in our kids and affect their future. I think that's the reason we have kids who commit any crimes. They don't respect police officers. They don't respect other people because we make that happen because when they were kids. I think it's time to change that, okay? I think we should, if we get a driver license in the future and we tell our kids that life is different, you have to respect a police officer when they pull you over. Just answer a question wherever they want to say it. If you commit a felony or, I'm sorry, if you commit something unusual, they have a reason, and just pay for it. We are here to pay. We pay our tickets. We pay for everything. I think we don't receive anything for free. And we do, we work hard, and we do as much as we can to do our best. We learn the language, and not only English. Sometimes we have to understand sign language because we have many languages around here. And I'm one of those who speak another language besides English. And because I know the feeling when other people don't speak your language. We are here to help others. We are here to make changes and help kids. They can go and grow and pursue their dreams. but the way we are doing, the past makes many mistakes. Now is the time for you guys to help us, help our kids, and make the difference. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Welcome to the committee. Welcome.
Thank you, Chair and members of the committee. My name is Claudia Garcia, and I work as a Spanish translator, and I'm here on behalf of the City of Northfield. I am the staff liaison to the Northfield Human Rights Commission, and I'm a proud product of immigrant parents. I sit here before you all to ask you to support SF 27 for the driver's license for all. The City of Northfield is supportive of this bill now and has been supportive of the driver's license for all campaign in the previous years. A resolution was brought to the Northfield City Council in 2019 and passed in support of the driver's license for all. The City of Northfield wanted you and all of the members of the community across the state to know that this needs to be passed, and we're here in support of that. A letter on behalf of the Northfield Human Rights Commission writes, the Human Rights Commission finds itself once again, as it did in 2019, proud of supporting the driver's license for all campaign. Minnesota used to be a state that allowed everyone to apply for a state or a driver's license without consideration of the country of origin and immigration status. That all changed in 2003, like you all know, due to an executive order from the governor at the time. And since then, the lives of many drivers have changed. They were no longer able to legally drive, and unfortunately, they still have to drive to work, take their young kids to school, go to doctor's appointments, buy groceries, and go to their place of worship. The Northfield Human Rights Commission aligns and supports SF 27, and we ask you to support and to vote for this bill as well. Now, I'd like to testify on my behalf, and I am here before you, a proud, again, daughter of immigrant parents, a resident of Faribault, Minnesota, the occupied land of the Wapakute, and a U.S. citizen. And I add these details just because I want to signify my lived experience. Yesterday, I spoke at the House of Representatives Committee of Transportation about my experience growing up as a child with a parent who was undocumented and how this affects our youth and their mental health. My mental health was affected, and I shared my trauma yesterday, and I cried as I shared my story of living in fear every time my mother had to drive. I cried because sharing those memories brought back those feelings of anxiety. I was a third grader when I learned the significance of what it truly meant for my mom to be undocumented. Fast forward a few years, many drivers' lives changed again in 2003. The year after that, I was 14, and I became a voice for the voiceless. I remember being 14 and going all over rural Minnesota on a bus to talk to people about this very important issue. This has been going on for way too long. I am now an adult and a mother, and this still has not passed. I want to share a story with you all about the election processes, and they're very secure, and the fear of voter fraud is not a real issue. From the time that I started voting, and again, I mentioned that I'm a US-born citizen, I have been othered. Now, to give context, I had lived with my partner at the time, and many of the bills were in his name. After he kicked us out, my children and I were displaced. And during this time, I was going to college and working, and I moved quite a bit. If it was not for one thing, it was another. Any reason to be told that I could not vote. Here are some of the reasons that I heard. You do not have the right documentation, even though I had a state ID or driver's license at the time. I did not have the correct address on that driver's license or form of identification. I did not have the correct bill in my name to show proof of address. And I remember sometimes I'd bring my birth certificate and passport because I was a born citizen. I even encountered a person who was the head election judge, whom I had gone to college with. He knew me, and yet he would not vouch for me. These are some of the frustrating experiences that I've had as a US citizen in the elections process. My community is asking for the privilege to be able to apply, pass a knowledge test, and a driving test to be able to drive legally. My community is well aware that voting when ineligible is illegal and is grounds for a felony that could result in deportation. Now, why would they risk to do something illegal with such grave consequences? The answer is they will not. There is a saying in Spanish, el león juzga por su condición, which translates, the lion judges due to his own condition. I leave that as homework for you all to do some reflection. Vote and approve SF 27 so that all Minnesotans can drive legally and safely. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Welcome to the committee.
Chair Dibble and members of the committee, my name is Jason Chavez, and I'm a Minneapolis City Council member for the 9th Ward in South Minneapolis. This legislation today will help improve the lives of many of my constituents. Restoring driver's licenses and state ID access for our immigrant communities will provide many tangible benefits to all residents of this state. It will increase the safety of our roads as more drivers will be able to pass a driving test to make sure they can have a driver's license and they will be able to purchase insurance. It will increase the level of safety in our communities and trust in law enforcement as individuals and their families will have to have less fear of routine traffic stops that will impact them. And it will create measurable financial benefits for Minnesotans. For example, lower insurance rates, and including more people in purchasing vehicles and insurance, groceries, and clothing. But that's not what I'm here for today. This is a personal issue for the people I represent. I am the proud product of 2 Mexican parents who came to this country to fight for a better life. And now I have the privilege of representing a community that I grew up in, that helped shape me, and I'm very proud to represent, that has the biggest Latino community in the entire state of Minnesota. A growing East African community and a beautiful immigrant community that is showing us what Minnesota is all about. And I also represent that mother who can't take her son to that emergency visit to the hospital, the father who can't pick up his children from school, and families who can't go to work because of the lack of transportation access. Some may say, why are you up here today? It seems like you achieved the American dream. And I sit up here as an elected official and as someone whose family hasn't achieved the American dream. Does the American dream mean that you get to live in fear every single day? Does the American dream mean that your family cannot get from point A to point B? Does the American dream mean that when you're in college and your mom calls you and texts you that you're scared that she's gonna tell you that your father got stopped by the police? And you know what that means in our community when you're driving without a license and you get stopped by the police? It means you can be put in proceedings of deportation. We aren't living the American dream. But today, with the vote of this committee, I know that my community can have that pathway to that American dream. So I also want to say that the city of Minneapolis is in full support of this bill, and I'm very proud that Senator Mohammed and the committee here is taking leadership in getting this done because our community cannot wait any longer. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Member. Senator Park, my apologies. You tried to get my attention earlier. All right, thanks. Welcome to the committee.
Hi, good afternoon, Chair Dibble, members of the committee. My name is Isabella Cook. I'm 22 years old, and I'm a leader with Unidos Minnesota. I'm here today to ask you for your support in SF 27 and driver's licenses for all. I'm speaking out today as the observer, the neighbor, and a Minnesota resident with citizenship. As a second-generation Caribbean American, I often reflect on the reality of my life and the difficulties that would have come had my mother not gained citizenship. While at school, I was witness to the struggles of my peers and my own partner, who without a license was wholly dependent on me and so many others just to get to classes, to the grocery store, and in one situation, a ride to urgent care. With my current role at Unidos, I see just how much not having a license affects the people in our community. Countless stories of family members being detained, deported, families permanently destroyed, just for having to do something like taking their sick child to the doctor. Providers who have lost their jobs and missed out on fantastic work opportunities. Why? Because they couldn't even get there. Even now, I am one of only a few dependable drivers at my job. A life of existing only within an acute dependence on others is not a realistic or even habitable reality. It is not fair, it isn't right, and it's not just. I ask you, as those primarily viewing this issue from a place of safety, to reflect on this misjustice, but even more so, to reflect on your privilege. As a parent, think about you or your child's life, your child's future being on the line for going to school, what every kid needs to do in this world. As a member of our working class, imagine stressing every day of your life how you will get to work and provide for your family. I want you to think. Now think even more. The fight has never been about benefits, pressure, anger, and balance of power, or whatever assumptions there may be. This is about human dignity, human rights, humanity itself. We cannot turn a blind eye to these people, not anymore. So please, I ask you all today to help your neighbor, your colleague, your partner, by giving them the driver's licenses they deserve and a promise to live. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your testimony, and you'll be our final speaker today. Please introduce yourself for the record and proceed with your testimony.
Good evening, Chair and members of the Senate Transportation Committee. My name is Kathy Santamaria Mendez, and I am currently a resident of Little Canada, but I grew up in the Frogtown neighborhood in St. Paul. I'm a Latina, an immigrant, a former teen mom, a first-generation college student, a single mom, and a first-generation law student. I'm currently a third-year law student at Mitchell Hamlin, and I'll be finishing up my law degree this May. And throughout my time as a law student, and before that, I have been working in immigration law for approximately 4 years, starting as a legal assistant and now appearing as a certified student attorney. The force that led me to law school is strongly connected to the issue that we are discussing here today. I immigrated to the United States with my parents in 2001 from El Salvador when I was only 2 years old. We came to the United States on tourist visas, which we overstayed, therefore leaving us undocumented after our 6 months was up. I grew up undocumented, but I was able to obtain my legal permanent residency status through a U visa when I was in my second year of college. So being undocumented, I watched my parents navigate the system and work hard for a better future for my brother and I with the limited resources that they had. One of the limited resources was no access to driver's license. As many have already mentioned, this limits a parent's ability to be active in their child's lives, such as being able to take them to school or participate in after-school activities, or even simple things such as taking them to the grocery store. It also limited other areas of my parents' lives, such as when we go to places that ask for them to provide an ID. I strongly remember my mom being hesitant to take me to any activities, and as a child, you don't really understand what's going on until much later when you truly understand how deeply these issues impact families, not just your own, but also those of your friends, families, and neighbors. Fast forward to now, as a permanent resident who does have access to driver's license, I believe that this is the right that should be granted to all immigrants regardless of their status. Because of a driver's license, I was able to finish high school and college while also navigating being a young mother. I have been able to leave behind a lot of the fears that I grew up with, such as those that I mentioned, and I've been able to be actively involved in my son's life. I have also left behind the fear I grew up with of being pulled over and handed over to ICE, and being forced to return to a country that I did not grow up in, and being able to remain in the United States. Throughout my time working in immigration law, especially during my year serving as a law clerk at the Immigrant Law Center last year, I understood even further the importance of a driver's license. I worked with families who needed a legal status, but also needed a driver's license because they wanted to not only be able to drive, but have the opportunity to have a better future, to comply with the law, and have a better future for their children. While the ideal solution is a clean immigration reform, this is an issue that is beyond the state and requires federal intervention. But Minnesota can send a strong message to Washington and across the country that immigrants deserve better. This is not a DFL or Republican issue. This is an issue of human rights. I'm a strong believer that I am not free until everyone is free. I urge the members of this committee to please support Senate File 27. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have wrapped up
hello.
testimony. Can you go very quickly?
Yes, I can.
All right, thank you.
Hello, Nano toca Angelica. Me llamo Angelica. My name is Angelica. As I continue, I hope to remind us that unless you are indigenous to Minnesota, we humbly listen to the people residing here. You are a guest as much as I am. Let us not forget that. Additionally, I stand here on behalf of Winona LaDuke and 8 Solar and the White Earth Land Recovery Project, who claim that they are supporting this bill. I represent the Education Department of the Science Museum, Minnesota Indian Women's Research Center, Indigenous Roots, Act 6, and Augsburg University. My story and my family's story is a reflection of the unwillingness from you all who are in power to pass a bill that would help and support us. Help with transportation, economy, and both mental and physical health. Negligence and ignorance is what I would call it. I would call it comfortability from you all. Please get up from your seats. Please use your power for our people. Raise your hands if you drove here today. Raise your hands if you own a car. Now raise your hand if you have constant anxiety about being separated from your family due to no driver's license. Raise your hand if you have had to struggle looking for rides to work, to your child's conferences, appointments. A lot of us do. Struggled so hard to the point where pleasure became a source of income. My mother, undocumented and with an English barrier, single, mother of 4 kids. My mom never drew to not having a driver's license. We would catch the bus to get groceries and spend so much money on taxis and transportation for our basic needs. I attempted suicide 3 times. And my mom also tried to take her life. All caused, all related to not having access to jobs and opportunities. This is affecting us. The pressure is there. You know, surviving is our norm. And it shouldn't be. We should have the same access you all have here. We should have the access that you all had to come here today and be here today. She sacrificed her body for the sake of rights, for us to have a roof on top of our heads and food on our table, finding ways to transfer herself to work. I would see men shaming or belittling her, and when I was younger, I didn't drive. So there was no way for me to help her out. Imagine not being able to help your mom or someone that took care of you, and them sacrificing their own body to take care of you. That is my reality. And I am a DACA recipient, and I have a driver's license, which has given me the access to transport my family as well as youth for after-school programming, as well as people from our communities. I cannot, I will repeat, I cannot and do not vote. I have a driver's license, and I do not have the ability to vote. So if you have that worry, if you have that anxiety, I am a living proof that I will not and I do not vote unless I am permitted to. I'm part of that. We all know for a fact that those around me and those here today and those that are able to will and continue to vote. We are the future. I am studying. I am getting my education the same way other students are. And the only reason why you all are sitting in your seats right now is because of us. And I may not be able to vote, But know for a fact that those around me, they will vote. Those people around me, my workplace, everywhere, everybody, people's connections here, they will vote. And they will not vote for those who are not serving for our communities. So I ask that you all work with us. Work with us. And let's make sure that we create a future that brings safety, well-being, and brings safety to our families, into our communities, and in our streets. So please, pass this driver's license for all. The time is now. There is no more waiting. And just know that we are coming to take your seats. Thank you. I hope you all take care and drive safe today.
Thank you. No applause, please. Senator Mohammed will give you the final word for today, but we'll see you a week from today, and then I'll recognize Senator Port.
Thank you so much, members and Chair Dibble. When I was thinking about taking this bill, I often reflected on my experience as an immigrant. I immigrated here with my family when I was 9 years old. I was born in Somalia in the midst of war, and my family came here for a better life. And I think I am a living proof of what we can do as lawmakers when we give immigrants an opportunity to succeed and to thrive. These folks here are from all over our state, different parts. And I know none of us come here because it's fun. This job is hard. I've only been in it, this is my second week, and it is a hard job. But I do it because of them. I do it for my mother, and I do it for my baby sister, and we have an opportunity with this bill to give people the right to just drive. That's all this bill is. We're restoring the right to drive, a right that people had up until 2003 that was revoked. We're reinstating it. And we can do that. And I hope that I know we'll have more discussions in this next committee hearing. We'll have honest and healthy conversations. I hope we can come to a conclusion, and I hope that we can right some of the wrongs that have been done, and we can come together and do something good for all Minnesotans. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Mohammed. Senator Port.
Thank you, Senator Dibble. I just want to take a moment and say that up here at the Capitol, we talk a lot about how sharing personal stories is sort of the gold standard of advocacy on bills. And I just want to take a moment and acknowledge that there are not very many bills at which we hear where sharing your own personal story can put you and your family at risk. And sharing your stories today took tremendous courage. And I think it's just important that we take a moment to acknowledge that. For 20 years, this legislature has not acted on this bill, and you all have continued to show up year after year after year. And I think that that is a testament both to the needs of this bill and the requirement that we pass it now, but also to the courage that your communities have. So thank you.
Thank you, Senator Port. Members, anything further? Senator Jasinski.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I want to thank all the testifiers. We talked a lot about safety on the roads, auto insurance, giving everyone the ability to drive, and I think we all up here agree with that. I think we want to get to that point. Again, I brought up Senator Champion's bill from 2013, and that is a different bill, and our concern, or my concern, is the proof of residency requirements are being removed in this bill. We all want people to drive. I get it 100%. I think businesses, however, businesses and agencies and banks and departments want the government to make sure the information is correct. And with doing this and not making sure that the information on these driver's licenses are correct is the concern. But again, we want to continue to work to try and get a bill that addresses all the concerns here today. But I will say again, we're just concerned, or I'm concerned about the proof of residence requirements that have been removed in this bill from what Senator Champion had proposed in 2013. So thank you, Senator Mohammed. We want to work together with you, but again, we do have some concerns over that, and our future amendments will address those issues that we see in this bill. So again, thank everybody for coming here. We truly understand what you've said today, and we really appreciate your stories. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate those comments, Senator Jasinski. You now have a relationship with a lot of the folks who have been working on this for quite a while by virtue of this hearing. Those who are here, I would encourage all of you to engage in conversation and roll up our sleeves over the coming week to work with all the members on this committee. Maybe we can work through some of these issues. There's other organizations, I think, the Chamber and the other business organizations that tend to have better relationships with and a reach with some of the members of my colleagues in the other party to engage productively, perhaps meaningfully with Laura Bordelon and others. And in a week, we'll have debate, questions, bill presentation, and amendments. And so I look forward to that opportunity. With that, Monday we don't meet because it's MLK Day. We'll see everyone back here a week from today. We are adjourned.